due to a water line break in a rural area.
Get water trucks here. Do something. There's an emergency. Older people, we're all getting sick. I don't feel good right now. This is ridiculous.
On Thursday afternoon in downtown Steubenville, there was a water line main break along South 7th Street.
Turbulent weather conditions and sludge in the tanks has led to a boil water advisory for all residents of Cadiz.
City of McMecken is under a citywide boil order until further notice, until a position is filled.
I know myself, the county, the water department, we've taken several meetings last year, and we're currently working on a completely new water infrastructure in the village.
The valves that we have to replace are covered under this $7 million grant that we have. That's good news.
I am hopeful, but I can't promise anything yet, that we will have a short-term solution announced very soon.
Calling the governor's office, getting the state's attention, kind of getting them involved in this matter. Can you talk about how vital that was to kind of getting an update for today?
Well, it was important, and I think when you get in these matters, every voice helps.
Hello and welcome to the Center of Music and Art in Wintersville, Ohio. I'm Jaime Baker. Thank you for joining us for our heard. We've had dozens of stories from our teams of reporters over the last few months and few years with different villages, towns, and cities dealing with water issues. Those go from anything from boil orders to water main breaks to discolored water and even a shortage of certified professionals to manage these water systems. Tonight, we're going to hear from officials at the local, state, and federal level as we look into what is needed to improve our drinking water up and down the Ohio River. Now, this will be a roundtable discussion type of format as we hear from local leaders about what they've been dealing with over the last few years and what they need to do to fix it. To start, we're going to hear from people in Jefferson County, Ohio, and the northern panhandle of West Virginia. Dylan Cleland is standing by with those in Jefferson County.
Jamie, thank you, and good evening. We are at a roundtable right now, joined by Jefferson County Commissioner Tony Morelli, Jefferson County Water Director Mike Arosevich, and Jim Phillips, the mayor of Amsterdam, all having dealt with water topics and issues over the last several years. Tony, I want to start with you. Aged infrastructure is something that we see across the county, and it leads to difficulty getting water to some of the rural areas of the county. So how do you think the county has handled that, and what can you do going forward?
Well, we're in the process of trying to get funding to redo these older systems. But what people need to understand, or I'd like them to understand, most of these Village of Amsterdam, Bergholz, Pottery Edition, a lot of those facilities that the county ended up owning, it was mandated by the EPA that we take them over. So we did, but along with that is the infrastructure that needs replaced and a lot of funding.
And I want to bring Mike Arosevich into the conversation. Mike, you've served in this capacity for some time now. What is the biggest challenge? Is it aged infrastructure or something else?
Yeah, it's aged infrastructure. And for was put in the ground and most of the infrastructure was put in the ground, in the 50s or 60s, if not before that. And all of it's past its useful life. And here in the county, we have, we're working on replacing the Village of Amsterdam now, but then we also have Bergholz, Irondale, Richmond, Smithfield. So we have, there's probably about 6 villages in the county that we have to do, and each one of those projects is probably about $10 to $14 million. So that's a lot of money. And we have 18 water tanks. All those need to be rehabilitated. So getting that infrastructure and getting the money to do it. Grant money is very tough to come by because it's competitive between 88 counties in the state of Ohio, as well as cities and villages. So basically you have to get loans, and all those loans need repaid.
And I want to bring in Jim as well. Jim, in Amsterdam, you guys have seen and identified the issues, and you're not working towards a solution. So can you talk a little bit about what the process has been like to get to where you guys are now?
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. So, the Village of Amsterdam, like most of the county, We have a very old infrastructure. Ours is estimated to be around 90 years old. The village has really worked hard at trying to come up to date and up to code and to EPA standards. You know, we had the $14 million sewer project, which we were very thankful for that. But we need water lines to run that, you know. It's pretty much the same story. Everybody knows what the problem is, but it boils down to funding. And these systems are so very expensive to fund. I can say that the water department and county commissioners have been working hard to try to help us, you know, with this issue. Senator Brian Chavez, Ron Ferguson, Congressman Rowley, they, from their respective offices, have been trying to help us find some additional funding. So we need to find that funding, and we need to get this, you know, infrastructure put in hopefully next year.
Come back to Tony now and talk a little bit more about funding. Tony, the federal government, Congressman Rowley's office, gave us some numbers saying that they've helped secure about $20 million in loans for the county. How important is that working relationship with the federal government?
Well, it's very important, but I don't know when the 20 million over what, 30 years? Probably. It's a long time. I don't know if people understand how expensive these jobs are. I think Amsterdam, I got the expert here, is $15 million to put, is that, I'm close. And it'll probably be more than that when it's over. So you got all the other ones, the communities that we've named that need done too. So 20 million, we love it. We thank you. If we had something to do with it, fantastic. Thank you, Congressman. But it's a dent. There's a little hole in a big ship. That's not going to work.
And Mike, I want to come back to you. Another project, and shift gears a little bit, another project that you guys have been working through is the water meter replacement project. People at home, infrastructure, we talk about this sometimes at the station. You see the roads, right? When roads are redone, people see that. But the water lines underground, the water meters, people might not realize what kind of upkeep they require.
Yeah, the existing meters that the county has in the ground have been in there since about 2010. So they're 15 years old. So as those mechanical meters, the more that they're operated, they start to slow down, and the bottoms of them rust out, so on and so forth. So they need replaced. But the main thing with this project is there is a transponder that's on the top of every one of our meters, and those are battery operated. And what those actually feed the reading to our reading equipment. As you can imagine, having one or two of our staff walk around and read 8,000 water meters over the county would be very difficult, especially in snow and bad weather and everything else. So we do that right now by vehicle, driving down roads. Well, all those batteries are dying. About, close to half of them are dead now, which leads to a lot of problems with getting readings and proper billing. So this new system, we have about 1,900 of the new meters and transponders in the ground, with the rest of them hoping to be in the ground by the end of the year or beginning of next year. And those meters will, instead of once a month, a staff member driving around and reading those meters, that information will be fed back to our office about four to six times a day. So a customer will be able to log into a portal and with their own login, and they can look at their bill on a daily basis, how much water they're using, and so on.
All right, Tony, Mike, Jim, thank you. We're going to move to some more with Hancock County now, where Jamie Baker is with some officials from there.
All right, Dylan, thank you so much. And yes, I am joined with Hancock Commissioner Aaron Check, Chairman of the Oakland PSD, Nick Frankovich, and State Delegate Jimmy Willis. We did reach out to Weirton officials and invite them to come tonight, but they are not participating due to pending litigation. But I do want to start with the Weirton water issues, which obviously started slightly before Christmas last year. Water conservation continued for weeks. Oakland PSD also saw a loss of water at that time. Aaron, can you talk a little bit about what the county commission's role was in trying to help throughout that situation?
Yes, Jamie, thank you for the question, and thank you for having us. The relationship with the commission and the other officials in the city of Weirton really became a lot closer when the water problems in Weirton bled over into the Oakland PSD district. It became an all-hands-on-deck situation. As you might all remember, that time of year we had the coldest temperatures, below freezing, for a week straight. Some of the leaks at that point were not detectable because the water that was coming out was freezing. So to find these losses in water and put water back in people's homes, we set up a channel through the governor's office. Patrick Morrissey was new in his office at that time. He was eager to help us, and he put his top official on our side and said, don't come back to work until Weirton and Hancock County has water. So the next day there was a 750,000 gallon truck at Weirton Elementary School, and we had a water detection leak team to come to help identify the leaks. This collaboration, though, was at its best when the governor's office set up a point of contact in Hancock County, our Office of Emergency Management. All issues were to be reported through that one person. So when the state was notified of our problems, there weren't redundant responses. So there was one response for every issue. Did I answer your question?
Yes, and Nick, as you guys were kind of trying to figure out what the issue was with Oakland PSD, I know people as recent as August were still complaining that they still didn't have some water. What are some of the biggest issues you guys see through the Oakland PSD? Would you say it's aging infrastructure or something else along those lines?
I would say that it is aging infrastructure. Along with the aging infrastructure, it's money, just like the gentleman from Jefferson County mentioned. Nobody wants to see their water bills go up. Nobody wants to be without water either. As far as people in August not having water still, I think that's related to a separate issue because Oakland actually purchases a portion of the water from the city of Weirton, and then we produce the other portion. We did the people that were purchasing water, the people on the side that purchased water in January last winter, they were the ones that, for the most part, everybody lost water at least at certain times of the day. The people on the other side had the water because that was produced by us at Oakland. Back in August, we did have our own issue, which is all infrastructure issues, and they.
Well, Nick, let me ask you this. If you could have a wish list when it comes to things that would help you guys, what would you say the top 3 things would be?
Money.
Money kind of would help along all those lines.
Money. I mean, I represent probably the smallest water company here. We're just a small PSD, and we only have 3 field employees, 2.5 really, and we just don't have the resources to keep up. Weirton's been, especially after last winter, Weirton's been a lot of help. They're just a phone call away, and they, even just for questions getting answered, things like that, they've been a lot more helpful. They didn't turn us away in the past, but we just never had that relationship before.
Absolutely. And Jimmy, as you're kind of going through these Weirton water issues, you're hearing this, at the state level, what can, the state legislature do to help bring some of that money up to this area?
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes it's just them knowing where we can look. I mean, we have the Water Development Authority that their job is to help get those grants out. And I think sometimes it's important, being in some of the meetings I have with municipalities, to remember that a lot of these projects, we still require a municipal match of some sort. Maybe not 50-50, maybe it's 75-25. I've been in meetings with towns where we break everything down, projects, and we get to the point where we start talking about matching dollars. And in one of those instances, they told us they had $13,000 total. And as we've heard in the last panel and with this one, that's not going to cut it. We got to have more money than that, and the towns have to be able to come up with some more of it as well. But we can always help. I mean, I think Commissioner Check said it pretty well that when the crisis came along, Governor Morrissey and his team were tremendous to have and to help. And I know we got to be a little bit careful with that pending litigation and some of the stuff going on, but I got to get a lot of the reports from the PSC with the investigation, and I think it'll be important when it's all said and done so we can learn from what has happened so we can maybe do better in the future.
And then, Aaron, I know the commissioner is the group that is kind of helping apply for those grants, going through these long-term plans. What are some steps that you guys are taking moving forward to try to prevent issues like these?
Thank you. I think good preventative measures would be to look at the PSD's replacement plans for their water and sewer lines. These are plans that the PSC at the state requires of every public service district. That's not really something that we've ever monitored closely, but that's the best preventative measure that is available.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys so much. We're going to take a quick break, but still to come on our Your Voice, Your Future Town Hall special, we hear from state officials in West Virginia and Ohio about available resources for areas experiencing water issues.
99 to Beat is TV's #1 new game show.
It's wife versus husband. Don't be a sore loser.
Tonight at 9 on Fox 9. The state versus state duels intensify.
With American Idol's Bye-Bye.
Elephant.
Cow.
Mongoose. Pass.
That was epic. And just when you think you know the game.
These new rules change everything.
I did not see that coming.
Tonight on Fox 9.
Hard water makes it hard to keep your home looking like the work of art you've always envisioned it would be. Culligan softeners reduce hard water buildup and your cleaning time, transforming every drop, every splash, every rinse into the fine art of a long-lasting clean. With a Culligan water softener, revel in the breathtaking beauty of your home, just the way you've always pictured it. Culligan, water you love.
Here I am, field trip chaperone. Before preventing migraine with Qulipta, it was hard keeping plans. And look at me now. You'll never truly forget migraine, but Qulipta reduces attacks, making more zero migraine days possible.
Don't take if allergic. Stop taking and get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing, face, lip, or tongue swelling, itching, or rash. Tell your doctor about increased blood pressure or color changes, pain, or numbness in fingers or toes.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save. Qulipta, the forget you get migraine medicine.
Lighted. Urban Meyer built college football dynasties.
Football is a way of life.
Mark Ingram II ran his way to a Heisman.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show with this thing.
Rob Stone calls it like he sees it. This is the Triple Option, where legends tackle the biggest headlines in college football and the NFL with guests who don't hold back.
You're not winning with that owner. Wow.
It's football talk that hits harder than game day. The Triple Option, presented by Wendy's, wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. We just heard from local officials from Jefferson County in the northern panhandle of West Virginia about some of the issues they've dealt with over the last few months and years. Now we're going to hear from some West Virginia state officials on what they're doing to try to help improve water in the northern panhandle. We talked to State Senator Laura Wakeham Chapman about some of the ways that the state legislature is looking to help.
We have bioremediation programs where we take biological agents such as bacteria or plants to try to clean our aquifers. There are several programs. Actually, Wheeling has a grant. And so those are available through the state. I personally, clean water is very important to me. I'm a mother of 2 small children. And so I do fight for people to have the basics: clean water, clean drinking water and showering water, whatever is available. We need to make sure that when there are disasters, we have a rapid response team. We need to make sure that there is testing and transparency on those test results. And then, like I said, just upgrading our infrastructure. But again, I fight for that every day.
And earlier this week, I also had a chance to speak with Jim Ellers with the West Virginia Public Service Commission about some of the aid that is available to cities in West Virginia when the help is needed.
What is the best advice you could give to folks as they are trying to navigate this? Because I know replacing everything is just insanely expensive.
Certainly contact the regulatory agencies that you deal with. If you're a sewer utility in West Virginia, that would be certainly the Department of Environmental Protection and the Public Service Commission. If you're a water utility, that would typically be the State Bureau for Public Health's drinking water program and also the Public Service Commission. You can get limited assistance, as I described earlier, from our agencies on certain things. More importantly, I think, is there are some non-governmental entities out there that provide assistance, and they're excellent at what they do. They have very technically competent individuals who are there, who work to provide this types of assistance. To name a few of them, RCAP, which stands for the Rural Community Assistance Partnership, the West Virginia Rural Water Association. They have some excellent programs for training and for education for their for small water and sewer utilities. And there's another organization that's called West Virginia WARN. That stands for the West Virginia Water and Wastewater Agency Response Network. That's basically a network of utilities that will come together to try to assist each other. For example, if you're a rural utility that's having some operational problems, there may be a close utility adjacent to you that may have some resources that they could provide you on an emergency basis.
What is the hope that cities and towns maybe take away from this, whether it's education or learning about how to stay ahead of things like this, that you would preach to other cities and places across the state?
From my experience across the state, it is to have at the local level, and when I say local level, I mean at the city and or county or public service district level, that you have an infrastructure plan for your city, for your county, out to an X number of years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and then that you have a sound, reliable preventive maintenance program that you can say, every year we're going to conduct these types of preventive maintenance checks and services on our facilities and on our equipment, and to ensure that your rates are adequate enough to support what is necessary. And then when capital projects are needed and rates can't support that they are active in seeking the funding that's out there and available to replace those aging facilities. Now we shift back to the Ohio side of things. The Ohio Environmental Protection Agency plays a key role in monitoring water quality. Last week I spoke with Amy Clyde, the chief of the Division of Drinking and Groundwater for the Ohio EPA, who shared a little insight as to how they can provide assistance.
Water and ensuring safe drinking water is a major priority for the state of Ohio and for the group I work with here. That's our job. And one of the key steps that we do is we do inspections, we provide technical assistance, and we make sure that the systems across the state are meeting the requirements of the Safe Drinking Water Act, that they're properly testing, and that the water that is being provided is safe.
Recently, in the village of Cadiz in Harrison County, there was a situation with water. What was the EPA's role in this situation? I know we had heard that they were water was being sent to you guys to be tested. How does that? Can you kind of talk about that process?
When the issues came to light in Cadiz, I know we have our team from our field office was out there quite a bit from Logan. Providing on-site assistance, also coordinating with other water systems and other operators to get and engineers to try to figure out what was going on. So that was kind of a big part. We played a facilitator role. Also looked at how can we help with funding. We've done a lot of funding to Cadiz in the past to assist with some of their water treatment improvements. And, we are still in conversations with the village, along with many other communities out that way about what's needed and trying to get either the technical resources or the financial resources to help get these fixes in place.
With the state being keen on workforce development, of course, we've heard here locally, getting the license to be a water operator or work at a treatment plant can be difficult. So is there anything in the works, or is there anything already in place that people can kind of be directed to if they're interested in maybe pursuing a career in that?
We're having this conversation statewide. We are looking for new partnerships. I think that's part of the solution, is partnerships with local community colleges or other vocational type of schools. Step one, we need to get folks entering the water workforce. How do we engage those folks right out of high school and within schools? And there's a recent project that was done up in Toledo that created a water workforce program. And it's been extremely successful. We're looking to replicate that around other parts of the state. Well, there's a lot of resources out there for the free funding, right? The grant type funding. I think I want to encourage every community to, if they don't know where to start, to give us a call. We also work closely with folks like RCAP, Rural Community Assistance Program, and if you don't know where to start, call us and we will hook you up.
Now we are joined by Andrew Henry of the Jefferson County Health District. Andrew, from a health perspective, when people have concerns with their water, maybe turbidity or colored water, and they come to you about it, what can the health district do?
Yeah, so as a representative from the EPA alluded to, they are the main authority when it comes to municipal water systems, which are your public water systems. So that's going to cover your cities, your townships, and your county water systems. And those water suppliers are constantly testing their water to meet EPA standards. So we really want to make people aware that the concern doesn't really lie on testing the water yourself. That's something you don't have to do. If it's something you want to do, that's certainly something you can explore. Now, there are multiple different kind of tests. There's the dipsticks, and then there's the ones that you have the collection at home, and then you send that out to an accredited lab that's certified to test the water, and then you'll get those results back.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I want to get in one more question here before we let you go. I wanted to ask you about the boil order. When that boil order was given and people see that, how concerned should they be? Sometimes they're precautionary, sometimes mandatory.
Certainly, people want to abide by those boil orders, whether they're 24, 48 hours generally. Now, certainly there is contamination in that water. That's why they want you to boil it for the time being, as well as, you can bathe in it, certainly. Obviously, if you are using the hot water, it's going to compromise your hot water tank and turn your water brown for quite a period of time. So those are things we want people to be aware of. But ultimately, what it comes down to, if you slip up, you make a mistake, you miss the boil order, don't freak out. You'll be okay.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. We'll go back to Jaime.
Thank you both so much. So to come on this Your Voice, Your Town town hall discussion, we will speak with more local officials about water and what they're doing to try to stay ahead of the game.
Hard water damage makes it hard to keep your home looking picture perfect. Culligan softeners reduce buildup and cleaning time, transforming your water into the fine art of a long-lasting clean. Culligan, water you love.
At Shaheen Law Group, we appreciate the seriousness of every single case and every single client. Our team is prepared to dedicate the time and efforts necessary to assure that you receive justice once you walk through our doors. No matter if it's a family law matter, criminal matter, wrongful death, estate, we're here to help. Shaheen Law Group. Experience, wisdom, compassion, trust.
Ferguson's House of Furniture is proud to announce the completion of our new 200,000 square foot regional warehouse. We uncovered over $1 million in furniture that must be sold at 50, 70, even 90% off. Boardman, October 9th through 12th. St. Clairsville, October 16th through 19th. Plus 20% off all furniture at all locations all October. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're doing our part. See store for details. Ferguson's House of Furniture. When the warehouse is this full, you save this big. Hurry in. When it's gone, it's gone.
News 9 is truly everywhere thanks to Skyview 9 with twice the power to help discover breaking news.
You can see the scope following a significant rock slide from this Skyview 9 video.
Explore must-see attractions and provide an unmatched view of the Ohio Valley. Experience more and know more about what is happening in places like Harrison County, Hancock County, even right down to your community. 2 drones, 1 great news team, unlimited reach. Sponsored by WVU Medicine Weirton Medical Center.
Hard water damage makes it hard to keep your home looking picture perfect. Culligan softeners reduce buildup and cleaning time, transforming your water into the fine art of a long-lasting clean. Culligan, water you love.
Welcome back to this Your Voice, Your Future town hall as we continue to discuss water issues communities throughout our Ohio Valley are facing every single day. We've already heard from a group of people in the Northern Panhandle as well as Jefferson County, Ohio. Now I'm going to send it to Dylan Cleland, who is standing by with officials from Steubenville, Wintersville, and Cadiz. Dylan?
Jaime, thank you. We are here at a table with CATA's Mayor R. Kevin Jones, City Manager of Steubenville, Jim Mavromatis, and Jesse Kasegi, the Village Administrator for Wintersville. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me. I want to start with you, Mayor Jones. In June, a boil advisory went out to the entire village. High levels of turbidity found in the water. From there, some other issues were discovered in CATA's. Can you kind of talk about what you guys went through over the last several months?
We went through a lot. Thank God we got a great team, and they stayed on it. The EPA, I reach out to them and give them all the credit, and my administrator, Brandon, they really worked very day to day, night to night. Our shifts are running 24/7s to try to figure out what was going on. Yes, it was the turbidity, but there was also other issues in the plant. One of our filters had a cracked floor in it, and then when it would backwash into our clear water tank. Our intake tank, we were getting good readings, but when we went to the clear water tank, it would spike on us. So we pretty much shut the plant down for almost, I'd say, 2 months, and we did an evaluation on every working part in that plant. And I mean, it's been good for 35 years, and actually my father, when he was mayor, he had that plant built. And we just pretty much rebuilt everything we could and made sure I wasn't going to let that water go until it was safe. I know a lot of people in Cadiz was very disgusted and mad, but not on my watch. It ain't going to happen.
And it is difficult in the moment, in those months when it's happening, but it has to be good looking to the future to be able to address these issues.
Yes, we're also looking at other strategies on water supply with wells, and I think we're reaching out and doing investigations on that and testing, and hopefully we can get a better backup system. But we're in a rural area. We just don't have a better backup system. Our reservoir was shut down 10 years ago, and we're forced to go with Tabin Lake.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. I want to bring in Jim Mavromatis of Steubenville. Jim, Steubenville has seen its fair share of boil orders and line breaks as well. How much do you contribute that to aged infrastructure?
It is aged infrastructure. We have to do. I think all the cities in the valley have that. It's just infrastructure. What I'm blessed with is a crew that's available and out there fixing water. Our citizens have been good. It's been needed on breaks. Line is we do have the crews. Well, the value is of our citizens, so we get the job.
And you guys are coming up at the end of a $17 million West End water system project. It's wrapping up. What can you kind of say about that?
That's probably what that has done now is give us the final connection for our whole city. We are now looped all around the city. If something, we can partner with Wintersville, which we already have. The Ohio EPA was very grateful in funding us on a project that involved Wintersville and Steubenville. Wintersville was the lead because that's where the pump station was. With this water tower being in place, it has now given us total connectivity around our city, also giving us the advantage if Wintersville needs water, we have the water that we can get to them.
I want to bring in Jesse to talk a little bit more about that. You got the funding from the Ohio EPA. How crucial is it to go in on these types of projects with neighboring communities?
I think it's very important. Before I was here, Mayor Petrella suggested that we had this pump house that was sitting stationary, stagnant for about 25 years. And we reached out to our engineers at Quicksall to see if we could have the pump house redone. Also, 25 years ago, we bought water off of Steubenville, and what we wanted to do was reciprocate that back to Steubenville if they would need water or we would need water off of them. We're kind of like the middle guy between us and the county who we buy water off of.
And then just an overall question here moving forward. We'll go to you, Mayor Jones. What did you guys learn? What did you take away from what you guys have dealt with?
What I think we should be able to do from now on in the future is maintenance, and staying on top of it more, not letting it go to the next guy all the time. We've put $40 million in our sewer infrastructure. We're in good shape as far as that goes. We just got recently, I guess, Mr. Salone, he said that we had a 1.1 million water replacement, or was that you?
Yeah, with the Congressman Rowley had shared some numbers with us. So
yeah, we haven't got the news yet, but I'm glad that we did get that grant. That will help us get the water line down North Main Street out to our government centers in Steubenville Pike, which is a badly needed repair on that line. And like Jim said, it's infrastructure. It's just totally bad, and we just got to work at it. And I don't like putting all the funding on all the grants. I think we should come up with a way in Caddis, in which we're trying to, with the leaders in Caddis, to try to generate money to get the infrastructure done with our own money and the grant money together to make it a faster process and try to get the bills lower. I mean, our bills are outstanding for our citizens, and I feel for them, man. My water bill is high, everybody's is, but there's a lot of people that are old out there that are on fixed incomes that can't afford that water bill. So that's one of my goals in the next 2 years, is to get the water bill lowered for all.
All right. Mayor Jones, thank you. We are going to go over to Jamie Baker, who is with some more folks to talk about water.
Dylan, thank you very much. I'm here with Dave Palmer, who is the Wheeling Ward 6 Councilman, J.P. Dutton, who is our Belmont County Commissioner, as well as Senator Brian Chavez. Dave, I'm going to start with you. We were just talking about water bills. Wheeling voted to pass a water rate increase just last night at Council. Can you tell me a little bit about the reasons behind that?
Yes, thank you, Jamie. As the common word is infrastructure, and that's what this is all about. In West Virginia, your water and sewer bills are paid by the customer. They're separate funds than your general fund from the city. So everything you pay towards your bill goes back into the water system and or sewer system. So yes, there was a 38% increase, which is quite high, but that means the issuance of bonds were $65 million. Plus you have architect and engineering to go with these things, because it's not just as simple as water meters and water lines. It's booster stations. It's adding infrastructure out to the county areas. It's sludge, removing sludge from the lines. So back in 2015, there was a new water treatment plant opened. And the problem with that is the water still ran through pipes from the 1900s. So we're slowly, gradually working towards that. It's been 5 years since we've had an increase, even though others will say it was last year, last week, yesterday. But no, it was 5 years since the last increase. And, you know, the 38%, when you go off of 4,000 gallons of water, which is pretty much what your average household, 2-3 income, households using, is raising about $12, and your sewage is going to raise about $15, $16 a month. And that is a sizable, chunk. I get that. But the 7 of us that sat there and took the vote last night, we did our due diligence. We looked over everything. This is not something we just put on the agenda and voted on. It's been in the works for months, if not years. So it's unpopular, but it needs to be done.
Dave, thank you. Then JP, back in 2018, Belmont County received $60.5 million from the USDA for water and sewer improvements. I know recently you guys announced a project to extend public water service to underserved areas. What are some of the projects that money has gone toward, and what are you working toward in the future as well?
Yeah, I mean, we've been very, very active. We've been laser focused on really water and sewer infrastructure. That package actually ended up being about $72 million in grants and loans. The loans that helped us reorganize some existing debt were locked in at 1.25% for 40 years. So it really provided us a lifeline when we needed it most. But to get to that point, we had to make some really difficult decisions. That was adjusting rates, which we've done on a long-term rate structure that even has them tied to inflation. It was doing asset management plans, 10, 15-year plans for future infrastructure, which we've been trying to follow right along with. So those funds went to a $30 million water plant that replaced a water plant from the 1950s. It went to upgrades to our sewer plant. It went to new metering systems. And we've just kind of gone right down the list since then. We've been actively working on a new project every year for the past, I think, 9 years that we've been working on this. We're currently working with Guernsey County, the village of Barnesville, and one of our townships to try to extend water service into a portion of our county that has been trying for decades, basically, and that are honestly hauling water to their homes. So, we're really proud of where we are. We're far from any type of finish line. There really isn't a finish line. I guess that's the takeaway. The takeaway is every single day, if you're not grinding on this issue, you're just falling further behind, whether it's rates, whether it's keeping up with your maintenance, all those types of things. It's literally a daily struggle just to make sure that you're not falling back and then really trying to gain ground too. And you really need to work, in our opinion, with your neighboring water systems as much as possible. Try to see if there's ways to cooperate and consolidate, because I think that's the only way long term that these systems are going to survive.
All right, and Senator Chavez, as you've heard some of these stories tonight, what is your big takeaway in getting, whether it's more funding, grants, help to Eastern Ohio when it comes to these water problems?
Yeah, thank you. It's obviously a common theme, and this is repeated up and down the district because we live in a challenging area of the state. We live in a beautiful area, but it's very challenging. Unglaciated Ohio, it's just more expensive to put water lines in, wastewater lines. You need more lift stations. It's just more expensive. And unfortunately, I have one of the largest Senate districts because it is so rural. So we don't have the tax base to be able to keep up with it like we would like. And it's a common story where you have a water line break, they go in, they fix it, and it creates stress on another part of the line. And then that creates stress on another part of the line. So it's frustrating for folks. And then at some point you're down where you're doing all these repairs. Well, then would you spend the money to just replace the whole system? So there are several capital stack options in the state. I had the director of the EPA in my office last week, and I specifically talked about the Wintersville project. They understand, they get it, they want to help. The director of the Appalachia Regional Commission, he wants to help, but it is a big state. It's 88 counties, and it is, like I mentioned, more difficult to do projects here. But it's not that the state doesn't care. It's we're trying to figure out how to help communities help themselves.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Dylan, we'll turn it back over to you.
Gentlemen, Jamie, thank you. Prior to this evening's program, I spoke to the general manager of Cleland, Tracy Erb, about what the process looks like for her company when a customer calls them with a water concern. Here she is with more on how they handle each call.
One of the first things that we do is test it, because just because it's a concern doesn't mean that it's there. Like we want to dig into a little bit. So we do a free water test for those customers. We test to see what's going on with it, what the symptoms are. And then we kind of go from there and just explain to them that you have this in your water, you have that in your water. And then we talk a little bit about treatable things that we can't treat, things that we can't test for, because we're pretty straightforward with the customer in that, they may have a symptom that is covered by something else in their water test. Like hardness can sometimes, be cumbersome and causing a lot of other C symptoms that just simply taking care of that one problem will solve a multitude of problems. A lot of these problems are new problems to them, but they're not new problems to us, right? Like they're pretty common issues across the country. And so we see them a lot in this industry. Testing for hardness is pretty simple. We show that up front. Testing for colored water or tannins or total dissolved solids. We go in and we run those tests, and we can show them right there in their home whether they have it or not. We also use a couple of other resources. We use what the cities put out as to what their water quality is, and we talk about that. We talk about how we can solve those problems. So, we really just try to get the customer to understand that it's not usually an emergency. It's a problem, but it's not unfixable. Moving forwards, I think it's important for people to realize that the municipalities don't have an unending checkbook where they can constantly spend to give you purified water from your tap. So, we're here just to come alongside after that and help polish it up for what their use is and what they want.
Still to come, what help can areas get from the state and federal level when these infrastructure problems hit? We'll have those answers after the break.
I smell a touch of chlorine.
Yeah, I'm detecting some PFAS.
I'm also getting notes of lead.
Perfection.
Sending it up.
Certified to reduce more than 70 contaminants. It's like having your own team of water experts. See the smart difference at Culligan.com.
News 9 is truly everywhere thanks to Skyview 9 with twice the power to help discover breaking news.
You can see the scope following a significant rock slide from this Skyview 9 video.
Explore must-see attractions and provide an unmatched view of the Ohio Valley. Experience more and know more about what is happening in places like Harrison County, Hancock County, even right down to your community. 2 drones, 1 great news team, unlimited reach. Sponsored by WVU Medicine Weirton Medical Center.
You've put up with your old shower for too long. It's outdated, unsafe, and it's time to replace it. But why struggle with a lengthy shower remodel when Jacuzzi can do it in just 1 day? And there's no need to break a sweat or your budget. Right now, we're waiving all installation costs, plus offering 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year. So you can finally convert your old bath to a safer, easy entry shower, complete with a custom seat, grab bars, and slip-resistant floor installed in 1 day.
My overall experience with Jacuzzi has been wonderful. Everything was customized to the way I wanted it for the price that I wanted to pay.
I've had a great experience from start to finish.
Don't take matters into your own hands. Do it the smart way. Give Jacuzzi Bath Remodel a call.
There are only weeks remaining during our limited time offer. We're waiving all installation costs and offering no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-990-3162.
I smell a touch of chlorine.
Yeah, I'm detecting some PFAS.
I'm also getting notes of lead.
Perfection.
Sending it up.
Certified to reduce more than 70 contaminants. It's like having your own team of water experts. See the smart difference at Culligan.com.
Invited several local, federal, and state leaders this evening, of course, and we've heard from some of them, and some of them were not able to make it, but we did speak to them ahead of time this evening. Now we'll hear more from 2 of our federal representatives in Eastern Ohio, Congressman Michael Rowley and Senator John Husted. Now that you've been in Congress for some time, what type of opportunities have you come across to secure some funding for Ohio 6?
Well, we've been really excited. We've already secured some major projects, in Caddis in particular, and there's 4 or 5 other ones that we already have the money ready to go. I think that's part of the reason with this government shutdown that's getting so worrisome for me is I need that government open so we can start moving these funds around that have already been allocated for our district. If you are an elected official and you have a water issue and you have a water project, we love doing shared cost. And what I mean by that is, say you have some county commissioners that have a pot of money, but the money doesn't really make a dent in the project you need. We could work with your state officials. All my experience in the Ohio Senate, I know how to maneuver those waters, no pun intended. And then if you look at the House of Representatives, the Speaker, Matt Huffman, a good friend of mine, we're going to use the State House, we're going to use your local dollars, and more importantly, we're going to use the federal dollars, and we're going to bring it all together. Now, on our website, if for your listeners, like I said, if you're an elected official, go on our website. There's a tab there that you could actually log on to, and you could start the process, and you could tell us about your project, through an email or through a DM, and we could get moving on that, and we could try to find the resources in D.C. to help us right here in the Ohio Valley.
With you being a champion of workforce development, how do you kind of see maybe a way to bridge that? I know we spoke with a vocational school who said maybe we could start offering a course.
Well, even look at it right in Steubenville alone at the STEM program they have there. You just tour that STEM school. It blows your mind how advanced these kids are that are looking for an opportunity. We want them to stay here and we want to educate them. So what we're going to do is we're going to get them a hold of this office and we're going to get them in the proper education, in the proper school, and the proper certification that they're going to be at the highest level they can be. And that's actually going to improve their resume. We want them to stay here. We want them to improve this because they're going to be the foundation blocks of this new infrastructure that we're doing here.
I know when I was lieutenant governor, we used money that the federal government sent us for the Ohio Builds water infrastructure program. So that's typically the way that the water infrastructure program works. But as a member of the Environment and Public Works Committee, I know that we'll be working on different packages of infrastructure funding as time goes on. And so we always look forward to serving our local communities when the resources exist. I have been actively involved on infrastructure, mostly at this point for energy issues. But we have also done some work on Lake Erie and river projects and doing things like that. But we're open to listening to what local governments need. But frankly, that's just not something that we've had a lot of requests for at this point in time. But I look forward to learning more about how we can help.
At the state level in Ohio, the legislature utilizes Governor Mike DeWine's H2 Ohio initiative to bring clean water to communities. Here's more from Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel and State Rep Ron Ferguson on the program.
You know, what's really neat, because we've traveled all over the state, both in the education workforce discussions and in this fitness now, you can tell the appreciation for Governor DeWine beginning that initiative back when he did, because probably one of the most valuable things we have as a state that gives us a chance to attract business and to have a great place to live is our water. And so we've got to take care of that cherished commodity. It is one of our greatest advantages, whether it's the Lake Erie or the Ohio River or any other river in the state of Ohio. We were built because of water. The canal systems were built right here in Ohio. So that H2O initiative has really been happily responded to, and people are so appreciative. And now what he wants is he wants to make sure we keep up progressing so that we can protect the most valuable commodity we have in the state.
I know the governor has his H2O Ohio program. That's been kind of a big thing. Good solid water has been something that Governor DeWine's really focused on. But really the local infrastructure, something that needs to be coming to the forefront a lot more. You look around at all these things with waste, like just this year we heard about $600 million the Cleveland Browns. I mean, how can you justify something like that when we have the water infrastructure we do? And those are the kind of things we need to eliminate in order to make sure that our water's taken care of first and foremost.
We're going to take one more quick break, but when we return, we're talking education and training for maintenance staff in the water industry.
99 to Beat is TV's #1 new game show.
It's wife versus husband.
Nope.
Don't be a sore loser.
Tonight at 9 on Fox 9.
The state versus state duels intensify.
With American Idol's fight.
Elephant.
Cow.
Mongoose. Pass.
That was epic.
And just when you think you know the game.
These new rules change everything.
I did not see that coming.
Tonight on Fox 9.
Lightning Lizard Auto Sales is a 3-generation family-owned business built on family values.
Yeah, bad credit, no credit.
Good credit, it doesn't matter. We do it all.
Thanks to our amazing customers, we keep growing. And that helps us keep prices down and provide you with quality pre-owned vehicles.
Come to Lightning Lizard Auto Sales, where you'll meet one of the family.
Or become part of it.
Love the car buying experience again with Lightning Lizard Auto Sales.
Your tap water is delicious.
I know, right? It's this Culligan Smart drinking water system.
What do you think is going on in there?
I'm smelling a touch of chlorine.
Yeah, I'm detecting some PFAS.
I'm also getting notes of lead.
Perfection.
Sending it up.
Here we go.
Certified to reduce more than 70 contaminants. It's like having your own team of water experts. See the smart difference at Culligan.com.
Education is one pathway forward that we're dipping into this evening. Steubenville's 5th Ward Councilman Ted Gorman has seen the need for water operators firsthand serving on council. But now in his first year as superintendent at the Jefferson County Joint Vocational School, he says the school might be able to provide a solution to this issue.
The more you watch the news and you see other townships that are struggling, they're trying to struggle to fill positions that are open by certified people. And, you know, being the superintendent of the Jefferson County JVS, one of our jobs should be to educate. And that's the most important job, but also to help out our community. And I saw this as an opportunity to give back, but also, you know, can we be a pipeline for training people in water operators? Years ago, a guy told me, you know, when he first came into Steubenville, everybody was a Class 3. Well, those guys have retired, and those guys weren't replaced by Class 3 operators, and someone has to be the person that's going to educate these people to get them in the door. And one of the things I think we have to teach young people coming up through is that these are good paying jobs, they have good benefits, and these are jobs that you can raise a family on.
You were in a high school for a while in Steubenville and now in the JVS. Do kids even know that some of these opportunities exist?
I would say that they don't. I would say, again, I don't think we take advantage enough of. We just had a career conference down in Wheeling. We had one, at St. Florian Hall. Again, I don't think young people take advantage of it. Again, I think schools, we have to get more and more people involved in careers. Everybody's not going to go to college.
Let's move into the training aspect, and it's something you said you guys might start with a program with adults first, just allowing adults to come in and be trained. What's that kind of looking like?
From talking to people right now, is what we'd like to do is there's a current course that's going on at the Jefferson County JVS. We would like to start a course for adults the second semester. That would be after the first of the year, 2026, and again, open that up to anybody up and down the Ohio River that wants to come and take that course. Again, and the whole point of taking the course is to get you trained and get you certified. So when you sit for that certification test, that you're able to go in there, you're pass the test of the Class 1 operator, and then from there, every time you move up a class, that's more money. Okay, so you have to be thinking of those things. What are you doing for yourself, but also what are you doing for your possible family?
We're now here with Jim Jenkins, the water and superintendent for Steubenville. Jim, I want to ask you, you actually teach these courses. What does that look like, and can you detail how someone could get involved?
Yeah, Dylan, I'm an instructor for OTCO. That's Operator Training Committee of Ohio. A lot of people don't know about them unless you're in the industry. They've been around since 1964. They offer from basic classes all the way up to advanced classes for your different levels of certifications. In Ohio, it's teach what you currently hold. So whatever certification you have, you can actually instruct for that certification. So I've been instructing for about 14 years now for OTCO. It's worked out well, especially for our water department. A lot of our employees come in without certifications. We get them signed up for OTCO classes. I do the instruction for those classes, and we've been able to get a lot of our operators and assistant certifications.
And that's a lot of times what we hear. We want to keep people here local and work local. Can you detail the different the different classes that people could go through?
Okay, so there's 3 different levels of certifications, Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. There's also a Class 4, but from 1 to a 3, you actually take a certification test and exam. Ohio EPA used to offer those twice a year. Now they offer them every 30 days through a testing site. The closest one's at Wheeling Northern University. So you can go down there every 30 days and test for those certifications. Class 4 is a little different. You don't actually take an exam. You basically write a thesis about your experience, the plant, the distribution system or collection system, whatever system you're on, finances. It's basically you're writing a book about yourself and your system and everything that you do to provide a service.
Jim, thank you so much for your insight and for joining us this evening. We'll now go back to Jaime.
And thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Of course, our team will continue to chase answers for the water issues that are plaguing our Ohio Valley. Thank you again for joining us. If you would like to catch this discussion online, you can do so on our website at WTOV9.com, as well as our Facebook and YouTube pages. Have a great night.
Bordas & Bordas, Thursday Night Lights, and Friday Night Rivals.
When I made my Botox cosmetic appointment,
I was nervous that I might look overdone. I wanted results that looked like me.
What was important to me was that I'd still look like me, just with fewer lines.
I'm happy with my results. So happy that my results are natural looking. Booking a consultation, it's a way to take time for you.
Botox cosmetic effects may spread hours to weeks after injection.